Good morning, pirates. Today is the first day of our Grandpa Cardi and Captain Mack's sew-along, presented to you by Patterns for Pirates. Today we're going to be doing a super easy step, which is printing your pattern and cutting your pattern in the size you need. I will be doing for this sew-along a cardigan for myself, so I'll be using the Grandpa Cardi. If you're sewing for your kids, then Captain Mack's is a great alternative. That pattern is also great for boys and girls. The Grandpa Cardi is just for women because of the shape of the bodies. So if you've never opened the Patterns for Pirates pattern before, super easy. I'm gonna go through the steps how to print your layers. And if you've done that before, then you should be done with your first day assignment super quickly. So open your pattern in Adobe Reader. Don't try to open it in a different format, because if you open it in, let's say, Preview, you might have issue with printing. If you open it in editable software like Adobe Illustrator, then you won't be able to open it because it's password protected. So you will have to open your pattern in Adobe Reader. It's a free software that you can get online. So open it with Adobe Reader. Then both the cardigan patterns have layers. So what you have to do is click on the layer function, select the size you need. If you need to grade, you can select multiple sizes. I'm randomly choosing sizes right now. Just by clicking on and off at this little eye square. So pretty easy. If you're grading, again, print more than one size. If not, print the sizes you need. Super quick. When you send it to the printer, you'll have your print box. I'm using a Mac, so I'm pretty sure the layouts will depend on the printer you have or the computer you have, but you'll have pretty much the same information. You need to print it custom scale 100%. Do not go shrink to oversize or any other selection. And you also need to print on auto portrait or landscape. Once you've done that and you have your sizes selected, send it to your printer, and ta-da, your first part of the day is done. So boom, through the magic of videos, this part is already done. Same thing for the kids. The kids one has layers too. I like to print just my pattern pieces and use my computer to follow the steps. It saves me paper and ink. So second part of the day is taping your patterns together. Taping your pages together. Patterns for Pirates has no trim pages, which means that you can put away your paper rotary cutter or scissors when you're gluing this, because they're super easy to put together. So I'm going to show you a couple of pages. So you have your A2, you match it with your A1 page. I like to use good old-fashioned Elmer's glue because I print so many patterns. It's the most economical option, and it takes less time than scotch taping patterns together. I used to do that, and I changed to Elmer's glue because I get packages for like pennies on Amazon. Especially after school starts, there's a lot of discounts. So don't buy a pack of 5, because you're gonna go through them if it's usually. I buy packs of 30, 50 Elmer's glue. You don't wanna get 2 or 3 because you go through them pretty quickly. So this is how a properly glued together page will look like. This is page A2, A3. You will see like an 1/8 of an inch gap here, and that's absolutely normal. That's not a flaw. It's perfectly fine. As long as your lines match and your 1 centimeter or 4-inch squares are correct, then everything is fine. You should not have any additional lines around the pattern. But if you follow the steps that I mentioned earlier when it comes to printing, this will look exactly the same. So I'm matching my letters. Having a big table helps. I don't like to work on the floor when it comes to taping or cutting patterns. So having a big table definitely helps. All right, so I've glued the first row of pages, is done. Then when you move to the second row, it's up to you how you like to do it. Some people like to glue, let's say, first row and then start gluing them each page. That's not how I do it, but I'm showing you right now that it can be done. So you go and glue your pages with like an L shape. There you go. And you keep going and going and going and going until the pattern is glued together. Or the way I like to do it is I glue each row and then glue the rows together. So I have row 1 glued, row 2, row 3. Well, actually row A, row B, row C glued together like this, and then I go ahead and do the horizontal gluing like this instead of each page. That's my preferred method. Again, whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with, either way the result will be the same. Make sure they're all aligning. I'm just not bothering right now with this. All right, so you keep going and going until you finish the last page. And then you cut the size that you need or grade through the sizes. I've also linked in the blog today a link to our grading blog. So if you need a refresher on how to grade between sizes, this is not a slim fit sweater, but it's also not a loose fitting one. So it's important that if you do need to grade, you do grade between the sizes if you want to get the intended look. For example, on mine, I'm going to go with one size, which is the larger size on my chest. My measurements put me in 1X for chest, but 2X for hips. And usually I grade. This time I chose not to because I want a more loose fitting top. But again, if you want to go for the intended look of the pattern, do grade between your sizes. Tomorrow we'll be cutting the fabric for this pattern, and your check-in today will be to comment done on the first picture of the photo album. There's an album here in the group that has the all the days in the album named Cardigan Sew Along. Day 1, go in the comments, comment done. That will count as your check-in for today. And each day we're gonna be posting our progress in the comments of each day. This way everyone who's done all the steps and completes the project by day 7 will be entered in the drawing for the winner. Please do not post in advance. I know it's super tempting to do that because it's not a hard pattern at all, and most of you probably have done this already. It's super tempting to do all steps. Please don't post, at least in the comments, if you've worked ahead. Make your posts in the day of that. You can catch up. So going back and posting back, that's fine. Just don't post in advance, please, because it makes it hard for me to tally everyone that did the project this time around with this sew along. So I think that's it for me today. Go ahead and print your pattern, cut your size, and I'll see you back here tomorrow so we can cut our fabric for the project. Bye.